Now listening to the He Say She Say podcast. I'm your host, Kyng Ralph. And I'm here with the homie Kai. What's happening, Brody?
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's good to be here.
Word, word, word. How was your weekend?
My weekend was great. It was filled with a lot of football action. My team, the Baltimore Ravens, won. Lamar Jackson got his first playoff win. So I was extremely happy for my home city
Clutch.
of Baltimore and for him. How about yours, man?
It was a good weekend for me. I got some what's it called? Like moral victories. The
Ooh.
Lakers and the Clippers beat us by 5 points total. And when I say
Woo.
us, the Chicago Bulls. We
Yeah.
did lose both games, but as trash as our team has been, I got something to be happy about at least. And
That's
then
always great.
Ohio State got their heads beat in. So my teams took a lot of L's this weekend. I think my fantasy team lost too
Oh man. Yeah, that
in
fantasy
our basketball
basketball
league.
rough. Yeah, that fantasy basketball rough, man. With having to set the lineup every day, COVID, a lot of players missing time with injuries as well. So just trying to overcome that. That's adversity in its own self, you know, in terms of off the court. But the good thing is that the Bulls, they're showing promise though against
Yes,
good teams, you know. So
facts, facts.
that's really
Yeah,
important.
I was trying to tell people like when we drafted Patrick Williams, like one of my cousins was like trying to compare it to like us having um drafting Trubisky, and I was just like, nah, that's like cat, bro.
Ooh.
I was like, it's not that bad. Um, I was
Right,
like,
right, right.
I can definitely see like where you're like why you would be upset, I guess. But
Yeah.
like at the same time, I was like the three people we would have really wanted that everybody wanted are gone. So it's like at that point you got to see what fits your system and who and trust the what do you call
Just the
the
process.
scouting team. Trust the
Scotty.
scouting team.
Yeah.
And I feel like at this point, like from what I've seen, I feel like they got it correct.
Yeah.
I don't know because I've only been watching I'm actually about to get NBA League Pass. Um,
Okay.
I just got paid this morning, so I'm about to get NBA League Pass, and then but I've only been watching like the YouTube like 12-minute full highlight clips, and I'm impressed from what I've seen. Uh, I seen him guarding LeBron and not
Hmm.
looking timid. I mean, it's LeBron at the end of the day, and you're a rookie, so like, what are you really supposed to do?
Right, right, right. Yeah, it's
And
it's
so
it's
like,
tough. Or
so for him
rookies
to be the
starting
main
rough.
defender, so for him to be the main defender, and then
Hmm.
also be like hold his own, and we only lose by two. I feel like we got, I feel like we got a good one.
Yeah. No, you guys are doing great. The Laker game, you guys gave them a run for their money. The Clipper game, I like to see a two-man battle when guys take it upon themselves. Zach LaVine was doing everything in his power to win the game, and it kind of triggered the Terminator, Kawhi Leonard, to combat that. And they were having a a barrage of threes were going back and forth. So I really enjoyed that battle between the two of them. Zach LaVine. Um, there's a lot of talk about Bradley Beal in the NBA right now with his scoring prowess and his scoring streaks. But we also have Zach LaVine right now, and I'm really enjoying watching these young guys, excuse me, be able to produce on their teams. Hopefully, as time goes on, management can make the proper adjustments for those types of players because the one thing that we don't want to see is a situation like we had in the 2000s when you had the Iversons, when you had the T Max of the world stuck on teams that weren't contenders until later on in their careers when they wind up doing so much to get hurt. So I want to see your Bulls do great. I want to see them, continue to flourish, and I'm excited to see what's next for Zach LaVine. You know.
With that, like the way he's balling, um, it makes me think like I've seen this before. I hope he does keep it up because then now this this next our first topic pretty much. Uh is, do you think he can keep it up, and
Mhm.
or who do you think, or who do you have as your early MVP right now?
Okay. So, mm. So my early MVP. Oh boy, that's always a tough question, right? That's a tough question, man. But my early MVP is LaMelo Ball.
That's wild.
I want to see your reaction, man.
You're wild, bro.
Oh.
Dog, I'm dead, man.
I'm actually 10% serious, but which is kind of scary when you think
Like, he
about it,
been
because I
hooping,
actually
but
think,
like he could get
but
he
no,
could
real
get the
talk,
sixth man in the he
yeah.
could get the sixth man in the rookie award. He's not getting no MVP,
Hey,
bro. Not off no
hey, I'll bet
bench.
you, yeah. Hey, that was you didn't see that coming. That was a right hook, right? But
It
in
really
all
did, bro.
seriousness,
Because I was just like,
yeah,
when you
yeah,
paused for a long ass time, I was like, this
yeah.
nigga finna say some bullshit. I knew it. I
I was
know he
like,
finna
yeah,
say some shit.
yeah. No, but I will say though, if the NBA had fans though, right now, oh, I truly believe that the Charlotte Hornets would be sold out just off the strength of his play. You got a guy coming off the
Oh,
bench
facts.
giving
Oh,
you triple
facts.
doubles, yeah, elevating the team. But with all due seriousness, my early MVP right now, I'm gonna have to say is man, it's tough. It's really tough. It's really 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 tough. But I'm gonna have to say Steph Curry.
Okay.
The reason why I say Steph Curry is because I don't go by the traditional um definition of what the NBA says the MVP, the best player on the best team. I believe it's a cop out only because sometimes, right, you can have a situation like look at the Spurs. Let's say one year they were the best team in the league. Let's say like I don't know 2002 or something. They win like 58 or 60 games, and it's
Right.
more of a collective effort. Um, actually, that's a bad example because Tim Duncan was the clear cut MVP, but I might have felt like there was actually that's not a bad example. Let me gather my thoughts. But that same year you had a Tracy McGrady on a horrible Orlando Magic team surrounding him, but he was doing everything in his power to to get them wins, right? And
Right.
they still made the playoffs that season and went up 3-1 on the Detroit Pistons, right? Ultimately, they wound up losing that series. But
Right.
the point being here is we saw something similar to Kobe Bryant in 2006, going up 3-1 against the number one offense in the NBA. And it just goes to show you that the team's game plan was solely to stop one player. They didn't care about Matt Garrity on the Orlando Magic. They didn't care about
Nah.
Smush Parker on the Los Angeles Lakers. So I segue that back to Steph Curry's point was when teams come in to face the Golden State Warriors, they have one goal and one goal only. Stop Stephen Curry.
That's
And
true.
we saw against the Clippers were up by 30 points or something, 25 or 30 points. And Steph Curry was able to produce down the stretch of that second half and ultimately get them a win against a championship contending team that got pieces to elevate their team. So for me, it's Steph Curry. By that definition, it's how much lift you can give your team um, with your playing. And if you take Steph Curry away from that, you have journeyman like a Kelly Oubre. You have someone like Andrew Wiggins who's known to be inconsistent, and you have a non-offensive threat and a Draymond Green that you can't distribute the basketball and be like, okay, get me 30 tonight, get me 40 tonight. So that is my explanation of why I believe Steph Curry is the MVP right now. But it's close. How about you, man?
I'm not sure, man. I've been
I know
sitting
it's
here
tough.
talking in turn
Yeah.
about it because Steph has been balling. He's averaging like 28 points right now.
Yeah, he started off
But
slow,
like,
but yeah,
yeah, yeah. And then he picked up. He got hot, man. That
yeah.
game against the Clippers, yo, he went off. And then,
Had to load that up in 2K.
but I've been right. I've been gotta. I gotta. I'm right now. I'm leaning more toward my guy that's actually on my NBA fantasy team, Jokic. The Joker, bro,
Okay.
he averaging to be a
I
center
like
and be
that. I
averaging a
like
triple
that.
double and then leading
I
your team.
like
But they're unlike Russell Westbrook's triple doubles, his are actually equating to wins and how well
right,
the
right,
team is
right.
playing. So
Mm,
I'm gonna
mm,
go with Jokic. Looks to be playing
hmm.
defense better.
Okay.
You don't see him out there getting cooked on the defensive end. Just got
Right,
an
right,
all
right.
around clean game. The Nuggets are winning games. So yeah.
Hmm.
For me, it's Jokic. But like I started
Hmm.
when I was really doing my research, I was like, man, as much stuff as people talk about Paul George, I was like, Paul George been balling.
Yep.
Um, I really hope that he continues to keep balling because I was just like, yo, as a
I
grown
do.
man, I
Yeah.
really don't want you to be out here people just calling you a soft ass nigga and you ain't doing nothing
Yeah,
about it.
all the time.
Like, bro, you
Let's
got
call it what it is, man.
if you can't smack the first person you see, then at least give
Right,
them
right,
30.
right. Right, right. And he's so skilled, man. Like, and I'm glad you brought up Paul George because I know, like, me and you, like off camera, we talk about Paul George all the time and everything. You know how I feel about Paul George because I know he has his skill set, and I love my 3 level scorers and 2-way players. But I believe that I truly believed him when he said he was going to come back. He got back with his MVP trainer, and I believe he's shooting 50% from the field, right? He's shooting close to 50% from the 3-point line, like 49% from the 3-point line. He's playing the point forward position in this new adjusted Clippers triangle offense. And he's actually been far more consistent and performing at a higher level than Kawhi Leonard this entire season. Paul George really hasn't had a bad game except against the Mavs. But I factored the Mavs blowout in my head, and I was like, how much of that do I want to? And I don't blame Paul George completely for that. No, that was a whole team effort. They couldn't hit shots. But I'm
Right.
like, but I figured, when people listen to this and they think like, oh well, the 50-point blowout. So how can Paul George be a part of that? But to me, he's actually in my top three of MVP candidates. But I feel like he would just have to continue to just go off for the entire season for the media to want to present him that award because I feel like they have a preconceived notion of a Steph Curry or a Luka Doncic. That's who they want to give it to. And let's look at I say 2 other guys bringing up the rear for me. I would look at a, a a Kyrie Irving would be beneath KD only because he was ahead, but he hasn't played games for personal reasons. So I would put KD because KD coming off an Achilles injury. And then I would also have a Chris Paul. Now I know this Suns team on paper, the top half of it with the Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton is better than that OKC team, but they don't have any depth outside of those other 2 guys. And if we look at the history of Chris Paul, like me and you've discussed at length many times before, Chris Paul, every single team he's gone to, he's elevated their status, even if he hasn't won a ring. So for me, Chris Paul is
Right.
almost by default always going to be kind of like LeBron in that MVP
Right.
discussion. So those are like my 5 guys, I would say. So I like your Jokic pick though. I think that's actually a really smart pick,
Yeah.
bro.
I feel like everybody's going with Luca. Luca's been balling though.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, he's doing what he always do. I'm not
Hmm.
surprised by how he's been playing. I think it's interesting. How you brought up the whole Kyrie his absence from the team.
Yeah.
So today, did you see that they had um a birthday party that he was a part of?
Oh snap.
I think it ended up being his sister.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was a family
But
party, family party.
he was at a family party pretty much. And he was just out there, just no mask. He was just
Oh,
barefaced,
mask off.
mask off, all the way off. And then there was like multiple pictures, like how people take the picture in front of the sign with
Mm,
the big bright light, and it's like one of those pictures. And
yeah.
it's about 8 of them in this picture, real close together with no mask. Not one person in there had a mask on, and that's against NBA protocols, bro. What you out here
Oh man,
doing,
he's
fam?
done for, man. No,
And
no, no, no,
people hate
no.
you. And you know people hate you. I feel like he's
Yeah,
doing this on purpose.
bro.
I feel like at
Kyrie,
this point, like as much
yeah,
as I like him,
intentionally.
he got to be doing
Yeah.
this on purpose.
Intentionally, I think him and KD also. I think they fall into that. I agree only because I was going to mention. Remember their IG live that they had before the season, and I remember I saw like
Yeah,
a clip on Twitter. Skip Bayless was like, "Oh, remember they were arguing about the number of post ups." I was like, "Bro, you fell for it." They were joking. Like they even laughed about it. When I'm like, "How often have you seen Kyrie even post up this season? He's not getting 11 touches in the post." You know what I'm saying? So I feel like
right.
him and KD they hear the noise. I think they're on that I don't
Yeah,
care anymore. So I agree with you, bro. I agree with you.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, man. I was like, I think at this point,
Yeah.
he's definitely doing this on purpose. Like
Facts. Absolutely.
walking through the Celtics arena, Sage, and that was the last place you was at, and it was toxic there. Had a lot to do
Yeah.
with you, had a lot to do with you being toxic. But like,
Mhm.
it's
So
it's funny though because like I seen this thing the other day, and
mhm.
somebody brought it. It was like I don't remember one of the analysts, but he was just
Right, right,
like
right.
he brought up how nobody's come out and said like, "Yo, Kyrie is this terrible ass teammate," but then the media narrative is that he's a terrible ass teammate, and it's
Yeah,
like to
that's
the point now when you talk to the casual fan, this is the
mhm.
first thing that come out their mouth on why they don't think that the Nets will win it all. Well, if Kyrie Irving start to tripping,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like I think that's slightly unfair
And
because
I
I'm
was gonna
like,
ask you about that. Like, are you because I know or should I say you asked me on one of our one time about so are you officially picking the Nets to go to the finals? And I said yes. Based off of what you have seen, are you still sticking with that pick? And I know for me personally, I am. I think what they just need is continuity. Once those guys all
yeah,
are together, because I think Karis LeVert is getting back, and I also like. I think Steve Nash. It's a period of orientation for him, and I think once they learn how to play team defense, because like with my team, the Lakers, we never had a Kawhi Leonard, a Paul George, uh, uh, a Gary Payton from coming back from retirement. You know what I'm saying? But we played
right.
great team defense, and but we also had a coach that could instill the principle. So, do you believe that the Nets will be okay in the long haul?
Yes. Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I do think that like because I was just really thinking about it, and the more I see the team, the more I'm like I'm cool with my pick.
yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
is that when you start breaking down like what championship teams need or like what you need to have a good team in its
Right.
entirely, it's like you start going piece by piece.
Mhm.
Like there's not too many like weak links in armor.
Right.
And
Right.
so it's like for me, like like they got bigs on bigs. They got so that means that they can protect the paint. Um,
Mhm.
Kyrie, like the thing about Kyrie is that he might gamble a lot, but it's not like he's just trash on defense. When it really matters, he plays defense. He actually gives effort.
Right.
You got you got people out on the wing, but to go
Mhm.
between Levert, Dinwiddie, and Kyrie. So you got perimeter defenders. You got
Mhm.
scorers, closers, shooters, and I just think that they had like the best team. So from what I've seen, I'd only feel more confident about it. I just think that they need to they just got to get in a rhythm.
Continuity.
Yeah, they got to get in a
Yeah.
rhythm, get to knowing how each other thinks, how they move, how they react to things, and I think
Yeah.
eventually they'll be fine.
That's fair, but and I echo those sentiments, and I always look at it like this, like so people know I picked the Clippers to win the championship last season for basketball reasons, and I still to this day as a Laker fan, I still to this day believe that the Clippers, had they done everything right, they would have beat the Lakers because I knew LeBron and people are saying, "Oh, playoff LeBron," but Kawhi Leonard was balling out in the playoffs. Period. He was just balling out, right? But LeBron had never had a good game against, statistically speaking, and field goal percentage and all that kind of stuff versus the Clippers because it was really a bad matchup. AD had the better games, right? I still believe if they hadn't had internal locker room issues, if Shaman didn't catch COVID, if Lou Will didn't go to, so if you notice, there's excuses they could go to technically, and Doc Rivers, right?
Yeah,
They would have won. I still believe on paper and just in general how they were a better team, but what did I say all last season? I said I had never seen a team win a championship the way the Clippers were trying to, in terms of their starters only playing uh 12 games together. But remember, they were still the
Right.
two seed, having, and which is crazy. They still went up 3-1, having only played 12. And I had never seen a team with that lack of finals experience, necessarily make the finals or win. So I said the thing that would derail them is the fact that, okay, you have a better head coach on the Lakers. You have LeBron James, right, who has a whole bunch of finals experience. You have Dwight Howard, who has finals experience. You have JaVale McGee, who has finals experience. You have Rondo, who has finals experience, won chips. Like, I was like, you have Danny Green. So if you start to go through the Lakers roster and you put things in categories, right? The Lakers fit those categories,
Right.
and I was like, that's why I never said there wasn't a pathway where, oh, the Lakers aren't going to win. So I segue that back to the Nets, and I'm using kind of that same formula. I'm like, okay, your two best players though are the ones with finals experience, unlike Paul George, right? So on the Nets, you have a KD and you have a Kyrie. Not only does Kyrie have, I think, what is it, 3 or 4 years in the finals, right? Let's see, he was there 2015, got hurt,
I think it was 3.
16, 17, 3. Yeah,
And
3 years.
I think
But he
LeBron
hit,
was there 4, but Kyrie was only there
yeah,
for 3.
right. In totality, LeBron has like what, 10. So, but pretty
Right.
much what I'm saying is Kyrie Irving hit the biggest shot in NBA history in a Game 7 on the road, and I remember sitting in front of my TV saying, "Okay, he got the juice now, right?"
Yeah.
Anyone who does that, like they're not scared of anything for the rest of their career period, right? Then you have a KD who's always performed well with Westbrook in the finals and without Westbrook on the Warriors in the finals. Um, then you have you have rim protection with the Jared Allen and DeAndre Jordan. You have rebounding. You have shooting
Right.
with a Joe Harris. You have bench scoring with the Karis LeVert. Um, and KD can actually play defense and all that kind of stuff. So if they can play collective team defense, I personally still would like to see another piece on offense on their bench, a different playmaker other than Karis LeVert, and let Karis just kind of do his own thing. Um, so maybe they get someone at the trade deadline, but I'm looking at those same elements and I'm like, plus the two players, they like each other and they don't have any internal conflict. That's why I pick the Nets. So I'm still sticking with it unless I can see an improvement from Giannis as a skilled basketball player,
Yeah.
which we haven't yet.
Nah.
That's where I'm at, bro. So I agree with you, bro.
Yeah. I like Giannis, man. I think that's like
I like
my
him too, man. Yeah.
yeah. It's one of my that's one of my dudes, man. I like the way he plays. I like his heart. I like his head. Um, but man, he's just
He can't shoot free throws, man,
yeah.
and he don't
He's
he don't have that mid range yet. Like,
no, not at
yeah,
all. And it's like
yeah,
it is. I really hope he does get it because he's one of the people I root for, even though he plays in my
right,
team. I
right.
actually root for the man. And
Because at the end of the day,
Giannis,
bro,
man,
like,
I could honestly see him winning the MVP again, but I doubt it. They give it to him 3 years
yeah,
in a row. He'd have to do something extraordinary at this point.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I was
Like
gonna
he'd
say,
have to be. Go
uh-huh.
ahead.
No, I was gonna say I agree with you. I would love to see him win it because I know, like LeBron's of the world and all that, they're not gonna be here forever. So eventually, you need to have that. There's everything cyclical in life, right? You need to have that passing of the torch or moving into the next era
Right.
of things, right? So it's going to be either a Giannis or a Luka or whomever, and I feel like this is going to be if the Nets make the finals and the Lakers. I feel like, in my opinion, this will be the last incarnation of that LeBron versus whomever in the NBA Finals. That's just my personal opinion.
Right.
So, yeah,
I can feel that. So I just gotta
yep.
ask because I know this is your boy. You've been like standing up for this man for a
Uh
couple years now.
oh.
After watching Lonzo this man got work was getting worked by his little brother.
Uh oh.
on TV too. This happened on TV. Is it
Mm-hmm.
time to call my man a bust? Because I've actually been
Yep.
defending him too, even as recently as
Yep.
like 3 weeks ago.
Yep.
But
I didn't even hesitate,
is
man.
that time?
Yep. Yep. I'll be like LeVar, he's damaged goods. Now let me stop. All right. All
Damn.
right. So I guess, yeah, this is the point where I tell our viewers the background of why I believed in Lonzo. So Lonzo Ball is a classic example of somebody who has fans that believe in him more than he himself believes in himself, right? And that is the issue with Lonzo Ball.
Right.
Also,
Facts.
I do not know his mother personally. I think she's probably a wonderful woman. I know she went through some health things, but what we do in terms of the outside personality, more reserved, right? I felt Lonzo takes after the mother. LaMelo takes after the father. He's always had that confidence about him, and you can see it in his play. You can hear it in his voice, his actions, how he answers questions. Um, and I'll get to that in a minute. There was a interview, Ralph, that they had before the game, right? And they asked a plethora of different questions, and the final question was, if you could play with any all, or no, they said if you could list the all-time starting five, who would be on it, right? Lonzo listed the following people: Magic, Michael, LeBron at the three, KD at the four, and Shaq. Lamelo was like, damn. He's like myself. He's like Jordan, LeBron, et cetera. He listed the same five um except for Magic Johnson. He's like, you're not
Right.
gonna pick yourself. And Lonzo was like, oh, I didn't know we could pick ourselves. And Lamelo was like, I always pick myself. He's like all the time. Like he just said it casually, like it wasn't anything wrong with saying that, right? And
Right.
Lonzo kind
Right.
of had that dazed, lost look. And I was like, that's the difference between him. Even they didn't give that caveat, but his confidence in himself is so high that LeVar confidence is actually going to be beneficial for LaMelo, and you see it. Now,
Right.
with Lonzo's play, I think the issue with Lonzo Ball is expectations for him were too high, right? Um, Injury prone,
Yeah.
lower extremity body injuries. He had a weak core coming into the NBA draft. He suffered a hip injury. He suffered some, leg issues. His inability to hit free throws. Um, Unlike his peer, Markel Fultz, they did not run pick and roll like that at UCLA. So there were some schematic situations that were red flags. And I think some journalists had wrote about it, but in the NBA, especially this era of NBA, you need to run pick and roll. So that should have been a first red flag. But I knew that him being 6'7", being able to pass, being able to play make, being able to backdoor, get alley oops, his defensive prowess, being able to defend 94 feet. I thought all that stuff he would be able to do, but he only showed flashes of it. He was never consistent, right? I think Alvin Gentry messing with his minutes early on affected him as well. And then finally, he finally performed well, or should I say, he had a stretch of games, if you remember, when Zion was out, where he performed well in February, right? He was shooting 38% from three on 6 attempts per game. COVID happens, the shutdown, and I feel like he was too busy uh, working on his rap game and faking working on his basketball game. Right. Like you're deadlifting and bench pressing. I'm like, why aren't you working on your shot? Why? You know what I'm saying? He got into the
Yeah.
bubble and I didn't even have to be around him, Ralph. And you know this to be true. He played so horrible in the bubble. I was like, bro, I can't defend that.
Right.
And
Facts.
so I'm like, I don't believe he worked on his game. Then the following season, he's struggling this year. And the one person that you love and the one person that's your younger brother, you never get embarrassed by your younger brother, at least like that.
Right.
Mentally, bro, he's just, and I'm not going to say he doesn't love the game of basketball, but I don't think that it's necessarily his number one priority, and he's as fixated on it like a LaMelo Ball. And so that is my full analysis, my comprehensive analysis of Lonzo Ball. What do you think from what you've kind of seen from a distance on the dude and compared to his peers as well. So that's all I have to say about the dude, man. It's sad. It's sad. It's actually sad
Oh,
though. Yeah.
yeah. I like Lonzo, man. I think that Lonzo, like you said, I think expectations were a little too high because like he's always
Mm-hmm.
around 12, 5, and 5, which
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I feel like from your starting point guard, I feel like
Solid.
that's good. That's solid. So
Yeah.
like
Especially
it
when he was
kind
a
of makes
rookie.
me
Yeah.
think like at what point is like what's a bust?
Nah,
Is
yeah.
it one that's trash that was supposed to be good, or is it somebody that just didn't meet up to expectations? Because
Yeah.
he definitely didn't meet up to his expectations. But then I do think that I don't think he's just straight garbage.
No, he's not. He's not.
Yeah, and so like I think that I feel like he's being unfairly judged. But then at the same time, comparing him to his brother is like this man's coming in
Whew.
and with all these expectations, and so far he's kind of meeting them. So
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I do think he's outplayed his peers. I am impressed with James Wiseman. I just think that
Ooh, we gotta talk about him. Yeah.
Melo kind of went into the perfect situation.
Mm, mm.
Not the perfect, but the best situation for him.
At that time,
Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, because I do think that it would have been perfect for him to learn from Steph and Clay and Draymond to
Oh
be
yeah.
up there. But
And Steph can
um,
play off ball.
but
Yeah.
I do think that right. But I do think at the same time they do have like he has two people that he can defer to when it's time to get a bucket with and Terry Rozier and Graham. And so like he could just really just run a point and then have them play off ball. And so then then really really gets like time like down to the like crunch time. It's time to win the game. You can defer to one of them too as well. But I also think
Mm.
he has that mentality that I got to go out there and get it, no matter who's on the court. But then at the same time, it's
Yes.
like how much of a how good he is at passing the ball, and then Gordon Hayward too. Not even to mention him. Like I do think I thought that they would be. I think they can make the playoffs. I was like,
Okay.
I don't think they're as bad as I don't think that, especially in the East. The East isn't like, and as much as we sit here and we down talk Markel Fultz, I do think
Right,
that
right.
like
He's improved.
the loss of him, yeah, he had got to the point where I think he solidified himself as a starter, a starting point
Yeah.
guard, and so
I think it was just confidence with him. I
yeah,
think early on, I think his confidence was just shot earlier on. But he's regained that.
yo, I had never heard of. I was just like, he got the yips. I was just like, what the hell is a yip?
Yeah.
I never heard of nothing like that I was just like, wait, so they gave a scientific name to just having a terrible jump shot? I was just like, bro,
Man.
I was like, I didn't know that. I was like, I'm gonna go out there now. And they're gonna be like, damn, bro, your jumper broke. Oh, I got the yips.
Man.
My fault. Like a week. I should be good after a week, man. I should be good. I should be all right. I just got a case of the yips right now.
Right, right. No, like I agree. I think we can all agree that Jason Tatum though was the best out of the draft. Clearly the best out of that draft with Lonzo and all them. And I think with him it was he got drafted too early. Markel Fultz with him it was lack of confidence and injuries. Unfortunately, he suffered a season-ending injury, like you mentioned. And I was going to mention one thing that I didn't mention earlier was, and this always irritated me about Magic Johnson, and I think I should let it go, but I didn't like it at the time because I knew this. I knew the state of the Lakers, and eventually, I didn't see until later on once LeBron came, it just threw everything off. But yeah, Lakers won a championship, so it is here or there. But I always remember Lonzo had even more expectation of his echo. He had even more expectation placed upon his shoulders um, when Magic Johnson sat up there during the press conference, the introductory press conference, and he's like, "Yeah, he's going to be great franchise player. One day your name's going to be hanging in the Raptors." And I was like, "Why would you think
Yeah,
about
he
this?
gassed him up.
Think about this. yeah, Ralph. Like, and we're not that old, right? But we've been around, you know what I'm saying, a little bit. And
Right,
when
right.
have we ever like? I don't even remember them saying LeBron, your name at a press conference will be. And I'm not comparing Lonzo to LeBron James talent wise, but your name's going to be one day hang up in the Raptors. Now, yes, when he was in high school, there was a legendary coaches saying he's going to be the greatest of all time. I do remember hearing that, but still, it's certain expectations and chips you don't put on someone's shoulders, especially someone that players or GMs and et cetera had reservations about you picking anywhere. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was an automatic
Right.
death sentence. Then you bring in LeBron, a guy who needs the basketball, right? And he never played well alongside LeBron, except like one game when they both had triple doubles. But a broke
Yeah.
clock is right. Okay? And he traded all y'all for Anthony Davis because he's like, oh, I can't win in the West, so I need to trade all y'all for AD. So I felt that I wanted to kind of add that little nugget of information. But I think out of that entire 2017 draft, yeah, 2017 draft, um, Jason Tatum was actually the best out of those three. So, you know, and Jason Tatum's a two-way player, and if he continues to elevate his game in the playoffs, oh, who knows where that can take him. So,
Hey,
yeah.
who do you think is the better player right now,
Mhm.
Jalen Brown or Jason Tatum?
Okay, so that's a great question, right? That is a great question. Um, I gotta go with Jason Tatum, and I'm gonna go with Jason Tatum because I feel like offensively he can carry them. At times when Jalen can't, I've seen times when Jalen's shot has been just not there. You know what I'm saying? I actually think the mental fortitude. I like the mental fortitude of Jalen Brown more than Jason Tatum, and I think that mental fortitude aspect of it
Most
is
definitely.
what helps elevate elevate him. But I did see Tatum finally take some control and some reins in a game that they won. But Jason Tatum, you might remember this. He was constructive criticizing his teammates, the bench, because he didn't want to have to come back from a lead. But I think, which I should say, we know for a fact at Duke, Tatum was more polished offensively. Like he had the quick first step.
Yeah.
Remember, he had shades of Melo, shades of
Yeah.
Paul Pierce, shades of Kobe. Jalen never really had that. I think I don't know if Jalen was a
No.
one year. Did he say 1 year or say 2 years?
He would
Yeah.
I think he stayed
So
1 year. I
okay,
think he was one of
but
them.
Jason Tatum, he was always for his age. It was his age that helped him. So for
Yeah.
me, that's my. What do you think, man?
I like
It's
for the
tough.
for some of the same reasons I like Jalen Brown more. I
Okay,
like the I like
that's fair.
I like the work ethic he has. Not to say that Jason Tatum don't have work ethic. I like the work
Right, right.
ethic he has. I like the mentality he has. Like if my jumper ain't falling, I'm going
Yeah,
to the rack. Where I think that like Jason Tatum uses it more as a like if I can't get my shot off, I can go to the rack
right.
rather than like I'm going to the rack. It doesn't matter like
Yeah.
who in front of me type of thing.
Mhm.
And so like I like Jason. I like Jalen Brown for that. I think he's a little bit better defender. Like if I was to pick which one of y'all gonna guard the best perimeter
Yeah.
player, I would pick Jalen Brown.
Yeah.
Um, so
I can
I
see
like
that.
him. I like him overall. I do think they complement
Mhm.
each other very well.
They do,
Yeah,
and
and so
I like
I
their.
and that's why I don't like when people were talking about trading either one
Oh,
of them for like a James Harden or somebody else. I'm like, nah, keep those two
right.
and trade everybody else.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, man, because like if you and I'm glad you mentioned their chemistry they have chemistry not just on the court, but also off the court in their communities, social injustice,
Right,
locker room
right.
chemistry, all those things. And you can see that it affects them on the court. And I implore people to really check this out. Whenever you watch a Boston Celtics game, when they're down, they're coming back. Look how they come back through defense. They use their defense to turn the offense in transition. And I see that's why I always call them the East
Facts.
Coast Clippers, because especially we saw this a lot last year where they would get a steal and Jason would get a steal and give it to Jalen, or Jalen would get a steal and get it to Jalen or Jason, right? And you can see they're
Correct.
two-way wings, big wings, because Tatum's 6'9" now. He's big. Jalen's listed at
Yeah.
6'7", but they like to ramp it up on defense if their offense is falling, and they convert that to offense. So I agree, man. I think their chemistry is seen, and I wouldn't trade them for anyone in the world at this point. The Celtics,
Nah,
they just need a
not neither one of
bench.
them.
Right. They need a bench. And once Kimba comes back, because people forget Kimba's out. Once Kimba comes back and he gets in shape, gets into a rhythm, and if he can make amends for his poor play last year, I think, and in certain areas of the playoffs.
Bruh, that was so hard because I was like, yo, this is
Yeah.
my dude, and he out here
Yeah.
stinking it up.
Bro. Yeah.
Like,
I was like,
like,
man,
bro,
Kyrie should have stayed.
right? He would
Yeah.
never.
Yeah.
Kyrie
But
would
but but
never, bro.
But Ralph, like I told people, and I remember me and you used to talk about this. I was like, Celtics fans think they're getting something different. I was like, Kyrie's will give you the same exact thing. He'll just be more efficient. I'm just being real. The difference is
Yeah,
the locker room might be better. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah,
So, but they still didn't go to the
yeah. Because I was just like,
chip. So,
yo, that play
mhm.
was crazy, yo.
Oh my
Like
goodness.
that dunk, I was just
Yeah.
like, bro, like if there was a way you had to lose, I was like, damn, that sucks, bro. Because you thought you
Yeah.
just knew you finna yam this joint, and homie come out of nowhere
Right.
and
Right. Right.
stuff you.
That's rough.
You
That's
finished,
real rough.
and that was gonna be like the game winner, dog. Like I'm finna yam we finna win this game, and then you get your
Hmm.
joint stuffed and you miss. Then now y'all lost the game. Hurt my feelings, and I'm not even a Celtics fan. I was sitting there, I was in Chicago watching
Right.
it, like, yo, this is wild.
Yeah.
That's the craziest
Yeah,
ending
like
I've seen to a basketball game. Outside of that,
mhm.
I still to this day think there's no way Derek Fisher got that shot off, bro. They didn't start the
Oh no.
clock until after he had let the ball go.
Yeah. No way. No way.
I was
No
like,
way.
there's no way in point 0.4 seconds you can catch the ball and then turn around and shoot. No way. No way. No way, bro. I don't care. I don't care if he was left-handed on the left side of the court. It's still no way, bro. Like,
Right?
I can do it going the other direction then. But it's just
Yeah,
like,
point
bro,
four.
that's no 0.4 seconds. There's
Yeah,
no way, bro. That's cap.
yeah.
Y'all lying to me, and I'm supposed to just sit here and you're peeing on me and telling me it's rain. That's lies,
Or Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan getting that fadeaway shot.
bro.
Yeah, that was some great Tim Duncan, man. He was trying to recreate. He was trying to recreate the MJ versus the Cavs. I saw that, man. He was trying to recreate that shot, bro.
Yo,
Yeah.
Tim Duncan is Tim Duncan one of them dudes that like he's real nice, but
Hmm.
like he one of them people that every time he score, that shit get on your nerves. Like, bro, who guarded him? Switch. Like, like, bro, he's not that good. Like, and then you guard him, it's like, damn, this nigga cold.
Yeah.
Like he got one of
It's
those types of
fundamentals.
games. He like that
Fundamental.
old
He's
dude
patient.
that hoop at the rec.
Yeah.
That old dude that's at the rec center on Saturday mornings. He's so fundamental and he's in such good shape, dog. He be cooking you.
Right, right.
It's like you come in, you ain't hooped in like 6 years. This man, Doug be
Yes.
63 years old out there giving you the business.
Right, right, right. That's exactly who Tim Duncan is, man. That's exactly who he is.
But yo,
Yeah.
so we got to talk about it. Your boys finally
Yeah.
got that dub, bro. Lamar got that proverbial monkey off his back.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Lamar Jackson,
The
New
should
Era
this
8.
should this be the whole? Does this change anything for you, or do he got to go deeper in the playoffs for you to be like, yo, I could put him in the category of a Pat Mahomes and Deshaun
Okay.
Watson?
Okay. All right. Okay. So first of all, with all due respect to those guys, right? Lamar Jackson, I'll let you, and I'll to answer your question. How I rank Lamar Jackson, my quarterback, Lamar Jackson. That's my quarterback, man, right? He is a top five quarterback. He is a top five quarterback in the NFL, right? Period. Once you win a MVP, for me, you are automatically in the top five. That means you are the most valuable player in the entire league. You were rated by the players as the number one NFL player last year. Is he a better passer of the football than Patrick Mahomes? No. Does he have more
No,
weapons in the government like Patrick Mahomes? No. So by default, right? The run game, and I love J.K. Dobbins. I love Gus Edwards. I like Mark Ingram, you know, but the run game for the Ravens is predicated based off of the threat of Lamar Jackson. The what's the word? The availability of Lamar Jackson. They're not built the same way the Browns are with Chubb and Hunt. They're not built the same way
nah,
the Titans are with Derrick Henry.
bro. Just think
So,
if he had those two to run with, that would be crazy.
right. So Lamar, he's a top five receiver. I mean, not receiver, top five quarterback. For me, Deshaun Watson, he needs to be on a better team. But in terms of the
Yeah,
playoff narrative, I'm happy you got the monkey off his back. But in terms of does he need to prove anything else to me as a quarterback, the only thing that he needs to quote unquote prove is being more consistent in his throws. He can throw the football. I've been his biggest fan, biggest advocate, biggest defender. Just be more consistent, and he did that last game. I thought, and learn when to let go of the ball early enough, and getting it on that outside to the outside. Miles Boykin, and he addressed that. But if you get him a big body receiver like AJ Brown, which I still believe the Ravens should have drafted, that's not even thought they needed to draft him because that's the type of receiver he needed. A DK Metcalf that will take the offense to the next level. I look at a Baker. I look at a.
so Des Bryant ain't the answer.
Huh?
I said, so Des
Do
Bryant
it?
ain't the answer to that.
No. Man, Des Bryant was busy fighting with Malcolm Butler, man. He was busy fighting with Malcolm. And hey, bro, did you see the first throw to him? He slipped on his cleats and he fell
No.
down. Yeah, so Lamar's like, I ain't going back to him, man. No, pretty much, bro. In short, like if you look at all the receiver, I mean all the quarterbacks from that draft class, Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, Baker Mayfield, Odell. You don't have Odell, you have Jarvis Landry. Next draft, Kyler Murray
You got two number ones.
gets traded for a DeAndre Hopkins. All Lamar needs is a premier number one receiver or a true number one receiver, and he's fine. I believe he's top five. I believe right now the only quarterbacks I would put ahead of Lamar Jackson are Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, and then I'm gonna go with Lamar only because Lamar ahead of Watson because Lamar has the MVP. I put Watson at five for me. And the reason why I put him in
All
this
right.
order, and I'll end my little
Well, at first I
soliloquy.
was looking at you funny, but
Yeah. Without running too much,
because of the MVP, I'll give it to him.
without too much of a tangent, because I know how I could be. But Patrick Mahomes, we understand what he does. Um, Russell Wilson, because he does the most. I feel like with less, he has that running threat. Aaron Rodgers, once again, also has a running threat, but he does it without a defense. And I feel like him and Patrick Mahomes are on the same level as passers. Lamar, because he has the MVP, and Watson as five, right? Because Watson he can run, but he's not nearly the threat of Lamar running, or even a Josh
No,
Allen. You know what I'm saying? And
no,
I would put
he's more like I can get
yeah.
this more like the Aaron Rodgers, like that
Mm-hmm.
type of runner.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's more
And,
athletic than Aaron Rodgers, but like I'm thinking about that type of runner. Like he's more running to get
right.
somebody open so I can throw the ball down the field.
And I'll give you this as my last point. My last point on this is um everyone talks about, oh well, coming from behind 20 points. They're going to keep increasing. They're going to be like, okay, it was 10 points. Well, now it's be 17 or 20. But can Tom Brady run this offense that the Ravens are in, the pistol spread? No. Can Drew Brees do it? No. So I factor that in my quarterback rankings. What can Lamar not do, and what can the other quarterbacks not do in terms of if you put
Right.
them in an offense? So I will put Lamar at like 4 for me right now. I don't know where you have him ranked. I'm actually kind of curious to hear where you have him ranked, but I'll put him 4 for
Okay.
me. Yeah. I had him 3
I
last year, but I was being biased. So
Yeah, I
yeah.
probably have him at about. I got him right where you are, and I got that same ranking pretty much.
Okay.
Because I feel like if you saying anything other than those 5 names, I feel like you're tripping.
Yeah.
Because there's no way you're not gonna have Pat Mahomes first.
Mm-hmm.
Then the second, I feel like the second one could go either way.
Toss up.
I
Yeah.
think Russell Wilson is the best quarterback outside of Pat Mahomes.
Yeah. Definitely.
And then after that, I'm gonna go Aaron Rodgers,
Okay. Yeah.
and then Lamar, and then Deshaun.
Yeah. There you go. So we pretty much got the same list, I think.
And then I
Yeah.
probably would have. I'm probably gonna go just based off of the season he balled
Mm-hmm.
out.
Josh.
I'm gonna give Josh Allen that 6th spot.
Okay. What
If I
about?
had to do a 10,
Yeah.
if I
I
had to
knew
go
it
all the
was
way
coming.
to 10, if I had to go all the way to 10, I probably would throw in Kyler Murray after that,
Mm-hmm.
and then probably Tom Brady.
Mm.
I'm trying to
Because
think.
we had
Trying
to
to think.
factor in playoffs, right?
What else we
Yeah,
got?
playoffs. Or
Yeah.
we don't. I don't know.
If Dak
Depends.
played this season, he'd be much higher on. If Dak would have finished the season, he'd be higher up on this
Okay.
list. Dak would probably
Okay.
be in that 5, 6 spot. I can see him if
So
he was able to finish the season.
that leaves you with two more slots, man. Who are your last two? I was counting in my head. I'm like, you got 2 more quarterbacks. Who gonna make it top 10, man?
Well, a quarterback.
I was hoping you were gonna say. I was
A
like, if you
quarterback.
leave,
Derek
like,
Carr. Yeah.
I was like, in the stream.
Uh,
If you don't list Derek
yeah.
Carr, bro, I
I
was
just
like,
was
how
like,
dare
yeah,
you?
right. Derek. That's because that's my quarterback. That's my
I'm like,
boy.
yeah, you
I
got
love
to
me some Derek
put
Carr.
Derek Carr.
I will stand up and fight for Derek
Right.
on any
I mean, he
social
played
media
well.
platform. There will be no Derek Carr
Slander.
slander on my
No
watch.
slander.
No slander. There will be no Derek Carr
Yeah.
slander.
All
And then
right.
if I had to go one more,
That one, the last one's always tough, man.
I feel like Ryan Tannehill, but then I don't want to say Ryan Tannehill.
Bro, I was about to say him. I was like, low key. I was low key. I was like, why are we thinking about? I'm like, there's somebody somewhere. I was like, man, is it Tannehill?
I want to say
Jalen
Tannehill, but
Hurts.
then I just don't want to say Ryan
Jalen
Tannehill,
Hurts.
bro.
No.
Like, I was a Carson Wentz fan. Like, I was that
Yeah.
person that was like, yo, they definitely got to take Carson Wentz.
Right.
And then it worked out like he was balling. And then when he tore his ACL, I don't know what the hell happened after that. But when he tore his ACL, they was like, he just came back and they just was not rocking with him, or he wasn't rocking with them. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Homie came back a whole nother quarterback.
I'm gonna hit you with a surpriser. I'm gonna take Tannehill off because I'm being petty. I'm gonna take Tannehill off. Yeah, I said I'm gonna be petty. Screw the Titans. I'm taking them off, right? I think he's a product of Derrick Henry. Now, I said it. Yeah. I think he's a product of Derrick Henry. Yeah. How we really feel, man.
If I
Yeah.
only had to complete 15 passes all game,
Right.
I'd look like a good quarterback too.
Yeah, anyone who has a 2,000-yard running back behind him look real good. With AJ Brown look real good. How about when you don't have him? So I'm gonna take Tannehill out. He is who I thought he was once he threw that interception to Marcus Peters with AJ Brown over. Yeah, I'm gonna put this.
You petty as hell.
I'm gonna put a rookie.
We just whipped y'all ass. So you trash. Damn, bro. If you say Tua,
oh man. No, not Tua,
Oh,
not
all
Tua,
right.
because
I
I
was
need
gonna say, bro,
consistency.
don't do. Oh,
I'm gonna put a rookie. I'm gonna
who?
put Justin Herbert, man.
That's wild, bro. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
Herbert's low key nice now, and he
He's
didn't
nice
have.
though, but I don't know about 10.
Yeah, he was holding that team together. Now I think mentally they were screwed. I think psychologically the whole team messed up, man. But I but I think Justin Herbert was a 10th best quarterback this season off the strength, man. Because no one thought he was going to do anything really, but he did have
Oh,
weapons. But
facts,
still, like
facts.
he don't have that run game.
Yeah,
He lost Melvin Gordon. So
I never understood why they let him go. I just was like really, really confused.
money, that's why he
I
decided
just
he'd
like,
rather be with Flacco. So
but he was still signed. You could have just made him play one more year. You released him.
yeah, that's true. That is true, right?
I
Yeah.
was like, you didn't get anything back for him. It's just like, we were going to backup. The backup a better starter anyway. Like, not
Right,
really.
right, right.
That's why
But yeah, Justin
now.
Herbert's number 10.
Shoot. I would I don't know, bro. Because now I feel like I feel bad for Joe Burrow because he was definitely gonna
Yeah.
ball out this year. He was balling.
Wait, so Baker's not top 10, right?
No, I would put
Okay.
him
Okay.
up. I would put him
Mm.
based on this season. I would need to
Mm-hmm.
see one more season. I need to see one
Okay.
more season. I do feel like Justin Herbert has more claim to the top 10 than Baker Mayfield does because I've seen
Now
Baker
Baker,
Mayfield be atrocious. And then
right,
this
right,
season
facts.
he played well. So I need to see one more year before I can wipe out that 2 years ago you was trash.
Now if Baker goes out and drops 44 points on the Chiefs, then I think he might go in my top 10. But we'll see, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I would argue that.
I mean, that would be crazy because he has to go into Arrowhead, and you know all too well about that. Going into Arrowhead, so we'll see. We'll see, man.
Yeah, yeah,
But it's
man.
gonna be interesting, man. Oh,
Dude.
I was gonna think. Did you want to mention about talk about how Tom Brady and the possibility of him, the quarterback, the slew of quarterbacks he might have to go through
Oh
to
yeah,
get to the Super
yeah,
Bowl. Yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
So bro, if he does that, he's the GOAT. As much as you can call me a Tom Brady hater. If one, you beat Drew Brees, Aaron
mm-hmm,
Rodgers, and then Pat
mm-hmm.
Mahomes,
Whew.
and then you win the Super Bowl with another team, and you
Bruh,
43, you the GOAT.
bruh. And you call up AB, be like, look, bro, come with me. you know?
Right, right, right.
Oh
I'm like, yeah,
man.
homie is most certainly the GOAT
Yeah,
if he goes through that gauntlet and comes out
right.
successful.
And I want people to understand, like they'll be like, well, he's not facing Aaron Rodgers because Aaron Rodgers is on defense. No, that's not the point. It's the fact that you're facing a Drew Brees. And we're just saying potential because we don't know who's going to win yet. But
Yeah.
these are Hall of Fame quarterbacks, solidified Hall of Fame quarterbacks that have a propensity to put up a slew of points really, really fast. If you get into a shootout, Tom Brady not only yes he has weapons, but he's going into a new offense. Has had internal issues with the coach, or should I say, you could tell he's not really fond of Bruce Arians as a coach because he calls him out more than Belichick ever did. It seems directly publicly to the media
Oh,
instead of in the
facts.
team locker room. So you're
Like
going to a
he's like,
brand
yo,
new
Tom
team.
Brady over there playing like
Yeah,
trash.
he played like
Like,
trash.
damn.
Oh, he threw the interception. It was his fault.
And then Tom Brady's right
Yeah,
there.
yeah. So for Brady to be able to endure that psychologically, right? Also, the injuries, et cetera. Being another year older, it matters, right? And being able to go into the frozen tundra, be able to go into the Superdome, be able to beat someone who already being able to beat somebody who people are already proclaiming as the new GOAT, or et cetera, would be amazing. And underlying story would be Antonio Brown facing off versus former Steelers teammate Le'Veon Bell as well for a chance
Oh
to get a
yeah.
Super Bowl ring, something that they never got in Pittsburgh. So I think that would be really cool to see if it all came full circle. But yeah, that's kind of how I feel with the NFL season.
Yeah,
So
yeah, man. That was I do. I don't know, man. Do you? So are you picking who you? Before we get out of here, who you got to predict W's? Who's winning? Who
oh,
is continuing their journey for a championship?
okay, so not who's gonna win it
What's
all, but who's just gonna continue.
yeah?
All
Who's just winning this week? Because I'm gonna see you next. I'm gonna
right.
talk to you next week too. So
Okay. So I'm gonna go with the Ravens versus Chiefs in the AFC Championship game.
okay, Ravens
AFC,
Chiefs.
and
Oh,
I
that's
think
the
what's gonna
AFC
happen.
championship.
Yeah, because I believe that the Ravens and teams like the Raiders, the Ravens, etc., they've all shown that you can run the ball on the Chiefs and the
Yeah,
Browns. What they did was they rolled the backs of Kareem Hunt. They rolled the backs of Nick Chubb. I truly believe, having prior experience with my team last year, having that first round bye plus that additional week, that 2 weeks of rest, right? You're naturally they come out rusty. Um, and I see the Chiefs coming out rusty, and that allows the Browns, who they've shown, okay, we don't want to get cute. We're gonna run that rock. I think they go up 17 points, 14 to 17 points, but they don't have the back end on their secondary without Denzel Ward and all that. They don't have the back end to stop that, and their pass rush is singular. It's a Miles Garrett. It's those kind of guys. They don't just have all their front four is able to get to you. So I believe that the Chiefs will come back from 17 and win that game like 34 to 17. And I think that the Ravens, they're going to ride their running game. I think they got the proverbial playoff monkey off their back, like you had said earlier in the show. I think they're going to come down to a close game versus the Bills, um, and I think they're ultimately going to make the AFC Championship game. In the NFC side, I like the Saints. I think their defense is flying. Yes, it is hard to beat a team 3 times in a row, but I didn't like what I saw out of that Bucks defense versus what I consider a Canadian Football League quarterback, an AFL League quarterback, Taylor Heineken, made me want to drink beer. Um, and you know what
Hey,
I'm
he
saying?
balled out too, bro.
Yeah, he did.
He balled out
And
too, bro.
Michael Thomas being back, Alvin Kamara getting back in shape, getting reps. I'm gonna go with the Saints, man.
Yo, the
Even though
Bucks.
destiny
Michael
almost feels
Thomas
like
is
Tom
finna
Brady.
slant them to death.
Right.
He's
But
finna
I
hit
think that
slants all game, bro. The Bucks are not going to be able to do anything about that.
yeah. I'll give you this though. I'm gonna give you this. I believe that if the Bucks win, AB has a huge game because I feel
Oh
like
yeah,
when they first played and got destroyed, Marcus Lattimore could focus on Mike Evans, who he shuts down historically. But AB adds that additional element. It's hard to defend multiple receivers. And then in the Rams, the Rams are
facts.
playing the Packers, right? Yeah. So I have the Packers. Um, yes, the Rams have the 2 best players at the 2 best positions or most vital positions on defense. That is Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald. But Aaron Donald has cracked ribs. We just found out he has cracked
Oh shoot.
ribs.
Oh shoot.
And yeah, and Jalen Ramsey's never played Devontae Adams. So I
Oh, he's
truly
never
believe
played him. Oh shoot. I was
he
about
said
to
he's
look up
never
this.
played.
Yo, Devontae.
Yeah.
Devontae finna cook, bro.
Right. And so he doesn't necessarily have that advantage. So we'll see
Yeah.
how it goes. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
go with the Packers in the cold. What say you to those matches, man? Who do you got, man?
I am going to go. You know what? It's quiet as kept. I low key. I don't think like people think that the Chiefs is gonna go in there and just smack the Browns, bro. Like I really think it's
Right.
gonna be competitive. I think it's gonna be a close game.
Okay.
Um, I think like I can see it either a late field goal or a late touchdown. Because I'm like I just
Right.
think that if the Chiefs haven't shown me that they can completely stop the run, and
They
so
can.
as
They just
good as a running game that the Browns have, and you got 2 workhorses. I mean,
mhm.
I feel like Kareem Hunt's gonna be pretty motivated. Nick Chubb is just Nick Chubb. You got Jarvis Landry.
Right.
As long as Baker Mayfield cannot turn the ball over, I feel like there's a chance that they can win
Mhm.
tech. Now,
Yeah. No, I think there's
am I
actually a
ballsy?
really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I ballsy enough
Yeah.
to say the Browns?
No.
No. Not even a little bit, bro.
Ah!
And then I want Lamar. I want Lamar to win. I'm sitting here thinking about
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
It's
all right,
tough though. That Bills team is no
you got
joke.
Marcus Peters and Humphreys versus Stephon Diggs, and I'm like, if you'd asked me this like maybe a year or two ago, I probably would pick
Mm.
Humphreys, but I've been seeing he's been susceptible to being cooked, and Stephon
Right.
Diggs is on a mission.
Yeah.
But I'm rooting for Lamar. So
Mm.
I'm gonna go pretty much the same setup as you. Browns,
Okay. With the Packers, I think.
I mean, Chiefs, Ravens,
Okay, Chiefs, Ravens. Right, right.
and then on the other side, but I'm gonna go Saints, Packers.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I don't remember what you said, but I do
Yeah,
know.
I said that. I said that.
Oh, okay,
Because
cool.
I said if the Bucks were to win though, I said because I feel like
Yeah,
AB, because I keep hearing that they discovered their run game with Leonard
right.
Fournette against Washington. I still don't believe that. And I'm not hating on Leonard Fournette. I've always felt that he was injury prone and overrated. But if he could make me eat crow, sure, you know what I'm saying. But I was
Right.
going to mention something. I was going to ask you something before we get out. If you were to pick any of the four games uh, that are going to be played on the weekend, which team do you feel has the best chance to make an upset? Would it be the Cleveland Browns?
Yes. Because
Okay,
I feel it.
same,
Because I don't
same for
really
me.
feel like I don't outside of the Rams.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
I don't think any of those other
Cause
ones are upsets.
right, yeah. I feel you. I feel you because I don't
Because
believe.
the Bucks Saints could go either way, and then
Right,
the
right,
other
right.
one, the Ravens and Bills. The Bills are fucking good.
Yeah,
So I feel
yeah. They're
like if
good.
the
They're
Ravens
good.
win, it's an upset.
I could see it being up.
I
Yeah,
feel like more
yeah.
people are expecting the Bills to win. So
Right.
if I had to say one, it'd be the Ravens. But is
Mm,
that really an upset?
yeah. And I already know, like, there's going to be a whole bunch of Josh Allen bandwagoners. And I love Josh Allen. I think he's really good. But I already know how Twitter's going to react if Lamar
Oh,
makes a
okay.
mistake. So, you know,
Yeah, bro.
yeah.
Lamar got to have no interceptions, bro. You know what?
I hope so, man.
He has to have no incomplete passes because they just don't talk. I'm not playing.
Oh, see, now you see, why do you do this to me, man? Why, man? Why?
Because then it's
Yeah.
like, bro, like the stuff that the way people be acting, yo, that stuff be having me
Right,
cracking up.
right.
But shit, we gonna get up out
But
of here, man.
yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Uh,
You're welcome, man. Always great.
got a lot of stuff. Got a lot of stuff to work with. Got to do some more studying, some more research, and yeah. So you can catch the podcast on pretty much any streaming service. Just type in the spacebar He Say She Say podcast. Um, you can catch us on Instagram as well at the
Yes.
underscore He Say She Say podcast. You can catch me on Instagram at KynGRalph at
And
Kyng Ralph.
yep. And you can catch me at the dot house of hoops. Once again, that's the dot house of hoops on Instagram for NBA news, player analysis, and player highlights as well.
All right. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for listening. Peace.